In the vast expanse of the ocean, where the waves danced in the sunlight and the corals swayed with the gentle currents, there lived a mermaid named Ngozi. Ngozi was the daughter of the king of the Obudu kingdom, a noble and wise ruler who was beloved by all who dwelled beneath the sea, but one tragic day, disaster struck the Obudu kingdom. Ngozi's father, King Obina, was killed by a human who had ventured too close to their underwater realm. The Obudu people mourned the loss of their beloved king, and Ngozi vowed to seek justice for her father's death. Determined to avenge her father, Ngozi devised a plan. She would venture to the surface world, disguised as a human, and infiltrate the Umuofa village where the culprit lived. There, she would find a way to bring him to justice and restore honor to her father's name. With her heart heavy with grief and determination, Ngozi swam towards the surface, her tail shimmering in the sunlight. As she breached the surface of the water, she felt the warmth of the sun on her skin for the first time and took her first breath of air. Ngozi's tail transformed into legs as she stepped onto the sandy shore. Her body adorned in a shimmering cloak of scales. She looked around at the world above the waves, filled with wonder and curiosity. Determined to blend in with the humans, Ngozi sought out the help of a kind old fisherman named Papa Ikachukwu, who lived on the outskirts of the Umuofa village. Papa Ikachukwu took pity on the young woman who appeared on his doorstep, her eyes filled with sorrow and determination, and agreed to help her. Under Papa Ikachukwu's guidance, Ngozi learned the ways of the humans, how to walk, talk, and interact with others. She adopted the name Edora and disguised her mermaid heritage beneath a cloak of human flesh. As the days passed, Ngozi immersed herself in the life of the coastal village, working alongside Papa Ikachukwu as a fisherman and earning the trust and friendship of the villagers. But beneath her facade of normalcy, her heart burned with the desire for revenge. However, fate had other plans in store for Ngozi. One day, while exploring the village market, she met a handsome young man named Chinedu, the prince of the Umuofa kingdom. Chinedu was kind and compassionate, and Ngozi found herself drawn to him in a way she had never experienced before. As they spent more time together, Ngozi and Chinedu's bond grew stronger, and soon they fell deeply in love. But Ngozi knew that she could not let her feelings for Chinedu distract her from her mission to avenge her father's death. Determined to stay focused, Ngozi continued her search for the human responsible for her father's murder. She questioned the villagers, searched the shores for clues, and even ventured into the depths of the ocean to seek guidance from the wise creatures who dwelled there. But despite her best efforts, Ngozi could not uncover the truth behind her father's death. Months passed, and still, the identity of the killer remained a mystery. Then, one fateful day, Ngozi stumbled upon a shocking revelation. While exploring the palace grounds, she overheard a conversation between Chinedu and his father, the king. To her horror, she discovered that Chinedu was the one responsible for her father's death. Devastated and enraged, Ngozi confronted Chinedu, demanding answers for his actions. With tears in his eyes, Chinedu confessed that he had accidentally killed King Obina while fishing near the Obudu kingdom. He had never meant to harm anyone, but the guilt weighed heavy on his heart. Filled with rage and betrayal, Ngozi knew that she could no longer stay in the human world. Heartbroken by the realization that the man she loved was the one responsible for her father's death, she vowed to return to her underwater home and seek solace among her own kind. Heartbroken and filled with sorrow, Ngozi returned to the depths of the ocean, her mind consumed with thoughts of Prince Chinedu. She couldn't shake the memories of their time together, nor the pain of his betrayal. Despite her love for him, she knew she could never forgive him for what he had done. As Ngozi mourned the loss of her father and the shattered dreams of her love, the Obudu kingdom welcomed her back with open arms. But even among her own kind, she felt a sense of emptiness, a longing for the human world and the man she had left behind. Meanwhile, Prince Chinedu waited patiently for Ngozi's return, his heart heavy with guilt and regret. He longed to explain himself to her, to beg for her forgiveness and make amends for his actions. But as the days turned into weeks and months, Ngozi never returned, and Chinedu's hope began to fade. One day, as Ngozi lay sleeping in her chamber, she had a vivid dream. In her dream, she found herself standing on the shores of the human world, the sound of crashing waves filling the air. And there, standing before her, was her father, King Obina, his form shimmering with ethereal light. "Ngozi, my daughter," he said, his voice echoing in her mind. "I have come to bring you a message of peace and forgiveness." Tears filled Ngozi's eyes as she looked upon her father's spectral form. "Father," she whispered, "I miss you so much. I cannot bear the pain of losing you." King Obina reached out and gently touched her cheek. "My dear child, I know your heart is heavy with sorrow, but you must listen to what I have to say. Chinedu did not intentionally kill me. It was an accident, a tragic mistake. He carries the weight of his actions with him every day, just as you carry the weight of your grief." Ngozi's heart clenched with emotion as she listened to her father's words. Could it be true? Could Chinedu really be innocent of her father's death? "You must find it in your heart to forgive him, Ngozi," King Obina continued. "Only then can you truly find peace and move forward with your life." With a heavy heart, Ngozi nodded, her resolve strengthened by her father's words. "I will try, father," she whispered. "For you, and for Chinedu." And with that, King Obina's form began to fade, his words echoing in Ngozi's mind as she drifted back into a deep slumber. When Ngozi awoke the next morning, she felt a sense of clarity and purpose that she had not felt in a long time. She knew what she had to do. She had to return to the human world and seek out Prince Chinedu, to forgive him for his mistake and reconcile their love. With renewed determination, Ngozi set out on her journey, her heart filled with hope and longing. She swam swiftly through the ocean depths, the currents carrying her towards the surface world and the man she loved. Meanwhile, in Umuofa Kingdom, Prince Chinedu waited anxiously for Ngozi's return, his heart heavy with regret. As the days turned into weeks, he feared that he had lost her forever, that she would never forgive him for his past mistakes. But then, one day, a shimmering figure emerged from the depth of the ocean, her form radiant with light. It was Ngozi, her eyes filled with determination and love as she swam towards him with outstretched arms. Chinedu's heart leaped with joy at the sight of her, and he rushed to meet her on the shore, his eyes brimming with tears. "Ngozi," he cried, "I have missed you so much. I never meant to hurt you, I swear it." Chinedu recounted the fateful day when he had gone fishing near the Obudu kingdom. In his excitement, he had cast his line too far and accidentally hooked King Obina's tail, mistaking it for a fish. By the time he realized his mistake, it was too late. The king had been mortally wounded. Ngozi listened in stunned silence, her heart aching with a mixture of sorrow and understanding. She knew now that Chinedu had never meant to harm her father, that it had been a tragic accident that had torn them apart. Ngozi's heart swelled with emotion as she looked upon the man she loved. Despite everything that had happened, she knew that she still cared for him deeply, and that her father's words had struck a chord within her soul. "I know, Chinedu," she said softly, her voice filled with warmth and forgiveness. "I know that you did not mean to harm my father. I have come to forgive you, and to ask for your forgiveness in return." Overwhelmed with gratitude and relief, Chinedu embraced Ngozi tightly, his heart overflowing with love for her. "Thank you, Ngozi," he whispered, his voice choked with emotion. "Thank you for giving me another chance." And as they stood together on the shores of the human world, their love stronger than ever, Ngozi knew that she had finally found the peace and happiness she had been searching for.